Seconds. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Snodacast Season 4, Episode 4. I am your host, Black Chef 56, and I'm, of course, joined by guy with dumbass name, aka It's Primbridge.
Yoink.
And, of course, we're also joined by DJ Lionheart, aka Leon.
Hey.
And long time no see, but for the first time on her phone, we are now graciously in her presence. That is Anara Sarah. Also, Joe's here.
All the world is merely a stage. Me? I don't know. I'm just here.
Okay, I'll give you that one. Alrighty
just
then.
an extra
So
in the
we
back.
can't have. He's just an extra in the background. Absolutely. All right. So of course we can't have a normal episode without asking the age-old question of weekly updates. So we're gonna go ahead and get right back into it. So I gotta ask Seth, how was your week, buddy?
It's been all right. Had some pretty good streams this week. Other than
That's
that,
good.
nothing really out of the ordinary outside of some drama that I explained previously.
Correct, and we're not gonna go into that.
I got to see some of those streams that were fun. They were very fun.
I did see a
Yeah,
couple,
for
and they were
streaming.
pretty good. I think you're getting nothing but better with your streams.
Well,
And
and
also
Elite
nothing
Dangerous
but
has
more
been hard to
cancerous.
keep interesting
That is also
because in the past, because my ship isn't engineered to where it needs to be,
Mhm.
most of the stream, whenever I get to the Elite Dangerous part, has just been travel, which is boring.
true. Okay.
So I'm trying to mix it up and do a lot more combat stuff, but
Yeah.
it's difficult.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So Leon, how was your week, buddy?
It was really good. As you guys know, Wednesday was my birthday, so
Happy late birthday.
I got to
Happy
go hang out with
birthday.
some friends
That's good.
with that. Yeah, went to the. It's kind of hard having a birthday in the middle of the week. None of the bars are doing anything fun.
Yeah.
You got to wait till the
No.
weekend or do it the weekend before. One of those
Right.
two.
Yeah, but
Yeah, restaurant.
still got to hang out with some friends. Then came home and drank more and with some other friends that couldn't really go out because they have small children.
Yeah. I got you.
Yeah, it was fun. Got yeah, it was just fun. I had a good time.
Sounds like it.
No, even though I drank quite a bit, woke up the next morning just fine.
Well, that's always the best thing to fucking have in the world. A little bit of birthday luck, isn't it? I wish
Well,
I could have not ever had a hangover. That would have
I'm
been
also
nice.
a big guy, so it takes a lot to get me drunk. Super
True.
drunk.
That is also true.
So
However, with Seth, I know from experience it only takes him about 4 or 5 shots and a couple beers.
I don't drink beer for one, so you're lying.
I do know. Well, I'm lying about the beers, but the 4 or 5 shots, yeah, takes about 4 or 5 shots.
About 10 these days.
Well, you gotta remember, last time I did that was over 2 years ago. Things
I
change in 2
did
years.
have a
Tell me that
couple
story.
shots
Like
of
depression.
Kraken that night. On the
Yes,
birthday.
yes.
It's okay.
It, like I said, I liked it because it had that sweet aftertaste. That's the main reason why
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. However, it is just one of those things. It's like it is an acquired taste. It's not the best, and I can't even drink it anymore because, well,
hmm
Seth knows why, Nara knows why. I think Leon, you know why, and I know for a fact Joe knows why. I told him.
You probably did.
Yeah.
I have slept since though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Then the next day, I went to go get myself like a late birthday dinner type thing, and my friend's actually the manager over at Dairy Queen here.
Lucky bastard. I know where you're going with this. You got a
Yeah.
free fucking blizzard, didn't you?
I
Or a
wish. I
blizzard.
wish. Maybe, okay, maybe if I actually went on my birthday, maybe she would have given me a free blizzard.
Okay.
Maybe, but
Make sure
I
it's an
didn't.
Oreo.
I like. They have a caramel one that's amazing, better than the Oreo,
Mm.
which we all know is kind of hard to beat.
That Oreo
Northern
one is
blizzard.
really hard to beat. Yeah.
Eh.
However,
Yeah,
more and more
yeah.
Dairy Queens are closing down in my area. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah.
Shit, really?
So yeah, so
Yeah.
I went there and got mistaken for a 25-year-old
Well, that's sweet.
Like, for me, it's a first. I'm 31 years old now, so it's like really weird getting told that I look younger than I am, because it's always been an older.
Yeah, I'm getting that too. If I let my any stubble grow out for more than 2 or 3 days, people are like, I remember one time all I had was just a little chin strap of goatee hair in fucking like junior year, and somebody asked me if I was in college.
Hey.
I was like, ow, that hurt.
Well,
and then,
when I first,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So when I first moved to Southern Oregon, all I had was the mustache. I didn't have all this shit you see now.
Right,
This is like a couple years old. I haven't had it very long.
right.
And I was always mistaken for like sophomore in high school.
Mhm.
And this had been 5th grade going into middle school.
Damn.
So yeah,
Well,
that
how
was
are you
an
doing, nuts?
interesting experience there.
Scaly Boy wants to come out and play.
No, he's got something in his mouth. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're trying to plan a kind of like a late birthday for me and something for my mom, because my mom's birthday is actually next Saturday.
Ooh.
So like a lot of my friends like birthdays are like in the last 3 weeks of January starting into February. So it's like trying to plan something, but it's a pain.
Right. Okay.
But it just gives
Joe,
me
you're
excuse
okay?
Doing good?
Just a little neck pain.
Oh, okay. Sorry,
But-
continue, Leon.
but it gives me an excuse to fill up the DJ equipment, so
Well, that's good.
which is always a plus.
Right. Alrighty then. So Anara, how was your week?
Good. I worked since. I am currently in for a convention. I'm working the convention and I'm getting blast. It is so much fun. But it's never seen. So I'm quite confused as to all of making and stuff, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, that's good.
And then I will go home early Monday morning and go straight back to work.
I can't say I blame you on that one.
Godspeed.
Yeah, I'm
Godspeed.
making more money here than I make at work. So,
Decisions.
yeah. Not very hard decision.
Right.
Yep. So I'm gonna sleep for the next 4 days. Yeah.
Should
So
probably have a
I'm gonna
nap every now and then.
Oh nope, I don't have time for that shit. Nope.
Nah, she's saying fuck that shit, bro. Anyways, so
If only.
Joe,
Yeah.
who's pulling out the D&D dice for some fucking reason. How was your week, buddy?
Well, I didn't really do too much throughout the week because as soon as Monday came around, there was a lot of snow, and I was snowed in for a good amount. What the fuck are you doing?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Continue.
I was snowed in until like Friday, yesterday. And well, you see, I'm just keeping busy. I had to have my virtual sleep. I had to have my sleep study doctor appointment be virtual, and they're like, "Okay, so you're approved for a CPAP, but you got like 1 or 2 more weeks because they have to go through your insurance, and it's gonna take a bit because I'm on Medicaid." So
I got you.
I'm totally gonna be fine with barely having any energy throughout the rest of the couple weeks.
Isn't that a normal occasion, though?
Oh, it is not.
Okay.
I will. It is unfortunate right now, but the fuck can I do?
I mean, yeah, there is nothing that you can fucking do.
Other than roll some dice and think about some characters that I wish I could make for campaigns that I wish I could be part of.
Okay.
All in
Continue
here.
that. Yeah, well, let's roll those dice in here as well before I fucking kick you. Anyways, so Inara, care to do the honors?
Roll for initiative.
Not that, but anyways,
I got a 16.
you know what honors I'm talking about.
What?
I guess
Who's the last person that hasn't talked about their week? Fuck it. Anyways, so my week was okay.
What, your week? Like I care?
Yeah, fuck you. So my week was okay. There was a little bit of a situation with my pay in the past week, and then I have since fixed it. And I also kind of stuck it to my boss. So thank God.
I'm just ready to
Anyways,
fight God.
I'm keeping it as I'm keeping it as silent as possible, just because I do know that there is a chance they could watch this and be like,
Yeah.
okay, well, did you do it out of spite? In case you are watching it, no, I did not do it out of spite, and no, I was not lying, whether she tells you otherwise or not. So, no. Anyways,
They did.
Slight deja
So-
vu from shit, but yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. Leon's getting some PTSD flashbacks. And anyways, so there is that. But other than that, I also got the chance to see Puss in Boots: The Last Wish on Tuesday. Highly recommend that movie if you have not seen it already. I wish it the best of luck because I hope it is a sleeper hit. Also, if I keep looking this way, that is because I have a bearded dragon over here and he's doing some stupid shit. Anyways,
I have taught
There's
him
a deal
well.
With you not even around.
yeah,
So-
exactly.
That does beg me a question.
I work remotely from home.
Mark will stop milking the Shrek franchise.
So it is actually not milking the Shrek franchise. I think it's actually trying to reboot it in a way because honestly, it feels like they spent 10 years on this story. Nothing against the last Puss in Boots and everybody that worked on it. It was fine. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite. It just felt like it was milking it at that point. It felt like they were obligated to do it. And they're like, okay, cool. Let's throw in Jack and Jill as adults in there. Let's throw in magic beans, a giant goose, a golden goose, a new character called Kitty Softpaws, and another new character, Humpty Dumpty. Just put a human face on an egg. Go. That's it. And that's essentially what it was. And it's like,
Hey,
I think somebody's watching a video. What's up?
Christian. Egg.
That's
Of
going
course,
on
if
the
you
highway.
can't tell, my numbnuts in crime over here has fucking got his soundboard, and he's had it for a while, and he's made my life a living hell with it. So, we shall continue that process.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Oh damn! I was hoping you fuck up and use the squeaky voice again.
No.
Fuck you.
I need to know where you got
Oh,
yours
that's
because
close.
I'm looking for one. I'm looking for a soundboard for my DJ stuff.
Today's podcast is sponsored by GoXLR on Amazon.com. Order yours now for $500 fucking dollars.
We are not
Yeah,
sponsored,
so
by the way.
There's
before he
two
gets in
versions of
trouble.
this. There's the Go XLR Mini, which is just the audio channels, and then there's the Go XLR full board, which is what I have, which has the soundboard. Which is the fucking So I have that shit, and then I've got the voice changer, and I've got the audio channels. If you don't have a mic that requires if you don't have an XLR mic, which is what I have, that's what this thing is.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of wasting your money getting one.
Don't know if mine is, but
I mean,
It's not. Yours is not an XLR. Yours is a Fi-Fine. I said
yeah,
that to you. I
XLR is the 3-pin cable. If you don't have a mic that requires that, like I do, I have a Shure SM7B.
actually my sister.
It's a dynamic microphone. I use a cloud lifter module so that the gain is a little bit more sensitive, but you can use any Go XLR, or you can use any XLR mic with it. You just plug that into the back. But if you use like a mic that just uses the regular like aux cable, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Especially
just
with
using a
just
regular
how
Nintendo mic.
powerful and how amazing this board is.
Yeah. If I ever win the lottery, I'll be sure as hell to get a whole new setup. But until that day happens, hence the reason I was. Anyways, until that day happens, if it ever does,
We'll be
That's
unpaid
a lottery
interns
ticket.
forever.
yeah, that's a lottery ticket, Seth. I can see the confused look on your face. Anyways,
No, I'm trying to land on a planet right now, and I'm not sure if I can because of the atmosphere.
So for me,
Fuck you too,
$500, that'd be 2 gigs. So anyone in Southern Oregon is watching, I'm available to DJ. Weddings, birthdays, whatever.
Just go ahead and make it 3 gigs so you can get the mic with it. Be smart, not stupid. Anyways, so that being
Learn
said,
from my mistake. Don't be stupid.
yeah, don't buy an XLR mic and not have the soundboard, or don't buy the soundboard and not have the XLR mic. One of the two that he did.
There you go.
I knew I'd get it eventually.
Yankee
Anyways,
Doodle doofus.
you know what? Fuck you.
No,
Go
that's
land
gay,
on a
homie.
fucking grill. Hey, go land on a fucking grill somewhere. It's Pork Bridge. Make me
Got
some
him.
fucking breakfast, bitch.
Nope.
Anyways,
I
that
ain't your
being-
wife.
I mean, shit. If you try and no, I'm kidding.
What about bitch?
Hey, yo!
Now releasing
But anyways.
late 2023, the Snodacast
Now
dating
releasing in
service.
late 2023, Snodacast, unrated and uncut.
What the fuck are you talking about? We already are unrated and uncut.
Sponsored
But
by
anyways.
Specs.
Yeah, I would love to be sponsored by Specs. That would be awesome. But anyways, so back on to basically how my week is, and then we'll go into the next topic. So I did get a chance to go see it. It is a great movie. I would highly recommend it, especially if you got kids. But honestly, I think even adults should go see this. It's one of those things. It's like it's got some good moments in it that even caught me off guard, and the story is done incredibly well, as like one of the main villains is handled so incredibly well. If you're on TikTok, you fucking know. You fucking know. You
Yeah,
absolutely already know. TikTok spoils everything now. But anyways, especially if it's animated. But
Internet.
that being said,
although
yeah,
I
well,
skip those if I'm interested in the movie or something like that. I skip
Oh,
those. I'm
yeah,
like,
no,
see, it's
highly
like,
recommend
oh shit,
it.
nope,
Yeah.
nope.
if
Go
you're
away.
if you're tight for money, I would recommend going. If you have an AMC account, you can get a $5 ticket. And I went and saw. I didn't go see it in 3D or anything else like that. I just saw it in regular D, and it was perfectly fine. It's still one of those things. I would love to go see it again on the big screen. I would go out of my way to go see it again on the big screen. It's just one of those things. It's like I would not do anything other than recommend that. This is something that as soon as it comes out on 4K, if I have the money, I'm getting that bitch on 4K. Fuck you. You know, that's one of those things. But beyond that, you know, I don't really have anything big planned except for hopefully this in the middle of this week we can record something and probably have it out by the end of the week, maybe the day before the podcast, depending on how much stuff I got to cut out. But hopefully we can get it ready to go, and just keep an eye out as you know, if you really want to get notifications about our channel, actually turn on the notification bell. We're not going to bother you more than maybe once or twice a week. So it's honestly not as bad as other YouTube channels. But you know, please, you know, support us a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, so on to our now showing. So this week for now showing, we actually don't have a movie, nor do we have a graphic. We have this gloriousness. The Dead Space remake decided to come out this week with little to no press release, honestly.
Yeah.
So I have played a little bit of it. This game is fucking awesome. If you are a Dead Space fan, you are going to absolutely adore this game so far, from what I've seen. It doesn't really feel like a remake as much as it does a remaster. They change a little bit here and there when it comes to dialogue in certain situations. But other than that, I still think it is a great purchase if you can get it. If you have the money to get it, recommend this game. 100%. Joe, I think
Yeah,
you
I
played a
def-
little bit of it as well. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, I've
Leon.
seen you.
Okay.
I haven't been able to play it yet because I don't have what you should. Yeah, I should be able to get on Xbox. Well, I don't have the money for it right now, but I have been watching playthroughs on YouTube with it, and it does look really good. I do say that
It does.
It's definitely more of a remaster than a remake. I do agree to that.
Yeah, so
Um,
far at least. I'm sure they're going to change a few things here and there.
Oh yeah. The YouTuber I was watching it through said that there was like some added dialogue,
There
Like,
is.
one per-
Isaac talks a lot more in the beginning of the game than
Yeah.
you would think.
and one character I guess that didn't talk in the originals is talking. And he's like, "When the hell did you get freaking dialogue?"
Yeah,
when did
that's
you
the
get a
character
fucking
is,
English
like-
lexicon? What the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah. It's
Right?
Isaac. Like everybody is. I was surprised by that because I did play a little bit of the original game, and yeah, Isaac barely talked throughout that entire game. I think he maybe had one or two lines of dialogue in the beginning, and so far he's had like 4 or 5 in the first 10 minutes. It's incredibly well done, honestly, and it's not like super stereotypical dialogue either. It's something that I feel like this character would say. but he's also
Yeah.
very much a man of few words. His dialogue doesn't really run past more than 1 to 2 sentences. So it's not like they're giving him full fucking paragraphs to say. He's just socks in 1 or 2 sentences, done, ready to go. So
They changed the
Normal-
character
still,
models.
Actual human reaction.
they have changed a lot of the character models. I did notice
Cole, for
that.
instance, looks like
Yeah.
older.
I will say this though, from what little I have played, it is definitely I wouldn't say shit your pants terrifying, but it has caught me off guard a couple times. I'm like, oh shit. So there is that. I will give it credit. Any game that can do that without stupid ass jump scares, you've earned my seal of approval as a horror game. Stupid ass jump scares. I'm gonna start speaking like this for the rest. I'm gonna start speaking like this for the rest of the time. And Seth over here he's gonna start talking like Carl Weezer from fucking Jimmy Neutron.
Absolutely not.
Now, Christian Burrow, I'm gonna send you to the Shadow Realm.
Hey,
You know what?
no.
Fuck you. No. Too bad, Jimbo. I'm sending you to the Shadow Realm.
I need to learn how to do Jimmy's dad.
Yeah, Jimmy's
As soon
dad.
as I can do that, I will be happy.
Yes.
What the fuck is this shit?
I need to learn how to be like
It's
Red.
called the Snodacast, Seth. You should be paying attention.
Alien shit.
Anyways, so any more thoughts, comments, concerns on the Dead Space quote-unquote remake? I'm really going to start calling it a remaster, even though
It looks more of a
It's a
remaster. than
remaster.
a
That's
remake.
all
Yeah,
it really
absolutely.
is.
That's really
Then-
all it is.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Why they?
the
Why are they
Necromorphs,
still unique? I don't know.
bro. They do a lot more. They're a lot more guttural with their noise. It's like when they.
Well, yeah, but that's what a good remake should do. Is should take the baseline of the game. Like if you can take the vague concept of the game, like the overall arcing story and like certain missions, you're good to go as a remaster. You're just tweaking certain things. Like you're adding more dialogue to a character that had little to no dialogue to begin with, or you're fixing certain bosses. Because I remember a lot of people have said that there were certain bosses in the original Dead Space that don't really live up to the hype as much. So I mean, it is what it is. Like I think they're doing a great job with this game so far. I've yet to hear any really negative reviews.
Do you think they'll do it
Probably
with
from Kotaku.
2 and 3, maybe?
I don't think they're going to do it with 3 because 3 practically killed the franchise and it was one of the least well-liked. It was one of the least liked games. 2 I could see happening because there are quite a few fans of 2. However, 2 becomes less survival horror and does kind of lean in more towards it basically go like you think of Dead Space 1 as Alien, Dead Space 2 is more aliens than alien. If you get my drift. It's action horror, not horror.
Yeah, but Dead Space 2 is like the fan favorite out of all of them, especially with that hallway scene. Oh my
Well, yeah.
God. That
Absolutely.
was terrifying.
Well, yeah, and there you go. So I would say, I could see it happening with Dead Space 2. I don't really see it happening with Dead Space 3 unless they're going to completely remake Dead Space 3 and actually do it better.
Co-op.
But I still don't see that
Well,
happening.
honestly, I called it a remake and not a remaster because technically a remaster is supposed to like just the technical quality of the game, right? It's not actually supposed to like, even that they were willing to change the story just a little bit. With this one, I think paves the way for them to continue doing it and to make the third better.
Hey, Lionheart, you got someone saying what's up?
Yeah, I saw that. Hey, what's up?
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, so far, great game. Yet to hear any bad news about it, so we'll see where it goes from here. I would love to see a Dead Space 2 remake / remaster. Joe,
I think it'd
you
be
have
cool
a thing?
to see.
I was gonna say, yeah, Free was like, it had co-op, but like, it basically pulled a Resident Evil 6.
Well, yeah, because Resident Evil 6 was making money.
You're not entirely wrong, but it's only got more actiony towards the end. Otherwise, it's still spooky throughout, like the 2/3.
Oh, well, that's good. It just goes and develops into action. Then, Leon, you were saying something?
Oh, I was saying, I think it'd be cool if this one gets enough traction and then they make a remaster or a remake of 2.
Mhm.
That they could do a supposed like 4th or completely change it to make it more, make it a 4th, sorry, and have it more like survival horror where you can't shoot creatures, you have to hide from them.
So basically, do what Alien Isolation was.
Or
Yeah.
in Amnesia.
Well, that's another
Amnesia
one. Yeah.
is another one. There's a more popular one than Amnesia. I can't remember the name of it right now.
All right.
But it's the
Well-
one where you're stuck in a mental hospital, and I can't remember.
Outlast.
Yeah, Outlast. Yeah.
There you go.
I could
Cool.
not even get through the first game without almost shitting myself because I was just like, so this is the dead SWAT guy just was like, and I'm like, nope.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and ask Isaacs to fix a few things, and while he's doing that, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our first topic of the night, which is episode 2 of The Last of Us came out this Sunday, and we're gonna go ahead and give our non-spoiler thoughts of what we thought. So, heavily,
Your thoughts
I
of
think
what
the
you
show.
thought.
Fuck you. Anyways,
I haven't seen it
You
yet.
can't
but
speak fucking
you
English.
know I don't speak good English. You know I don't speak good English. You know I don't speak good English. And fuck you, Seth. You can go burn in hell. Anyways, just
Letting everyone know
Well,
we're
thank you.
professionals, everybody. Professionals.
Hopefully this will be spoiler free because I have yet to watch.
well, yeah, no, this is going to be spoiler 3. I would say this episode vastly improves not only on like the opening of what happened before the virus, like a couple days before what all shit went down. I would say this does it tremendously better. I felt way more terrified in this than I did in the opening of the last one because I kind of knew where it was going. This was brand new. And I love how it kind of explains it and shifts where it would go, where the virus started. I love that. And I love the explanation and how like it felt the most like Chernobyl to me, which is great because Chernobyl did a great job of really not showing, but necessarily it would show and tell.
You're talking about the Chernobyl Diaries?
The Chernobyl series, the mini series
Oh.
on HBO. I would recommend if you haven't watched it, if you like The Last of Us, you will like that show because one of the co-showrunners of The Last of Us also, or no, the writer of the writer of The Last of Us, he also wrote Chernobyl. Chernobyl Diaries is a B horror movie. I'm sorry, it's entertaining.
No,
it's
it's not.
entertaining.
No,
it's entertaining
not.
as hell.
That movie
It
was
is a
shit.
B horror. Hey, it is B horror because it's still got some entertaining and interesting ideas. That's the only thing I give it.
Not all. Okay, majority of B movies are terrible, but they can be entertaining.
And
Yeah,
Cold Fall.
like, I would
Or they
argue,
can be just so bad that they're entertaining to watch because they're so bad.
right. So there are
Like
quite a few-
Sharknado, for example.
Yes, yes,
not
you are
touching
not
that.
incorrect on that one. Absolutely. I would say also Dusk Till Dawn, but Dusk Till Dawn is intentionally a B movie.
Yeah.
So, anyways, going back onto The Last of Us, I also think that while granted they do extend a certain character's stay compared to the other game, as well as they change a few things around, I do think that this episode was really, really done extremely well, especially because we do get to see a specific enemy type from the games that we've been kind of anticipating since the end of the last episode. And I'm glad that they build it up tremendously well in this show.
Oh yeah.
And the
Being
makeup for it,
clickers.
yes, but we're trying to be spoiler free. So yes, it is the clickers. Obviously, they teased that in the trailer for the last episode. So do with that what you will. Also, Joe, I can give you a site where you can watch that stuff. I hope you realize that.
Please do.
Anyways, I will.
No,
No problem.
you're
You're mostly gonna want to watch it on your computer, though. Just FYI. Anyways, that being said,
you
never know. Anyways, so that being said, back onto this. The clickers are built up incredibly well. I don't think you really see them for like what the first 30 minutes or so, maybe 20.
About
Yeah,
30
maybe
minutes.
25. I think it's about 25 minutes of a hour long episode. So I mean, the fact that they build it up so incredibly well as you do get some character development between Ellie and Joel. I do like that element of it because I think this is definitely a step up from the last episode, which was really, really done extremely well. There was a few hiccups, I would say, in the last third of it, the first episode, but this episode does it extremely better. I would say like a little bit of a hiccup at the beginning, then you get to the middle and the climax, and then the finale, the final of the episode. It's handled extremely, extremely well. I cannot
That's
wait for the
weird.
next
Usually my
episode.
climaxes aren't handled that well.
Well, that is a
That sounds
personal
like a
problem.
personal problem.
Who else but
Yeah.
Seth?
Yeah, who else but Seth? Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Seth is the official Quagmire of the Snodacast.
Giggity.
Anyways, so that being said, any thoughts, comments, concerns on those who have seen The Last of Us episode 2?
I do agree. I thought it was really, really good. We lost Nara.
We lost Anada.
Sadly. No, I was really excited. I liked how the one thing I'm really liking about it, not only because of it's The Last of Us, is one of my favorite games. Sadly, can't play it, but I have watched the whole thing. I'm really enjoying it.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. It is a bitch.
Oh yeah, it looks like a bitch to play.
It's worth it, but yes, it is a bitch to play.
I like some of the shots are like shot for shot from the video game, like it's just pulled out of the game. I'm really loving that. The clickers definitely look more terrifying on the show. Terrifying, gory, which is really cool.
I do like the kind of like the real close up that you see is there is a particular character, like his head split so far down that it split the teeth. I thought that was a really well thought out design.
Was cool too. Yeah.
Like you see the teeth completely split. Yeah, it is nasty, but it's done incredibly well. The sound design in this episode was fan-fucking-tastic. I love the sound design in this. Obviously, with the clickers, you're going to have to over-amplify the sound design. So I think that is handled incredibly well. It is so intense, but it's also not exactly the same place that you would run into the clickers in the game. So I love that. Like, again, this is a show that's not necessarily a beat-for-beat remake of the game. It is essentially an homage to what the games are.
Yeah. You kind of have to watch I guess they did a little podcast after the first movie, first episode, but they do it said in the podcast that fans of the game have to listen and watch very carefully to find out a lot of the secrets and stuff like that.
Right, there is some backstory. Yeah,
and it subtly hinted on how it spread. And how it spread so quickly.
Well, actually, if you pay attention to the beginning of this episode, you will find out exactly how it spread so quickly.
Yeah.
If you know a little bit about geography, the location that they say this virus spread from also has one of the biggest grain facilities that is distributed throughout the world. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, that makes sense. Like even one of the characters says the perfect substrate. So, and for those of you that don't know, a substrate is a great, when it comes to microorganisms, substrate is usually a perfect surface for it to live on. It's basically a great way for it to travel through and from. And honestly, that's also how they also hint at it at the very beginning of the first episode in the opening with how, not the very beginning, but when we get to 2003, you look at it they focus on a lot of cooking, a lot of bread based substances. And that is the biggest detail, and then they just practically confirm it at the beginning of this last episode.
Yeah.
So kudos to the fucking details.
It took me a minute to figure out, because I was thinking for a while, I was like, how the hell is this shit spreading since they took out the spores and shit? How the fuck is it spreading? How did it spread so quickly?
Well, in the game, it didn't spread from the spores originally either. It also, but it started in South America. So they said what they did is they found out it was on certain foods, and they stopped distributing those foods and burned whatever was left. They kind of did a recall kind of thing. And unfortunately, by the time they found out all that information, enough of it had spread that it had already gotten to the point where it's okay, yeah,
everything's fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. By the time it was already 2 or 3 weeks in, and by that point, you probably infected half the fucking world. So it's one of those things. I do like the changes that they have made in this show so far.
Yeah,
and they explain it incredibly well as well.
And they've already announced season 2.
They have. They're saying if this show is successful, they have announced that season 2 will follow The Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
However, with how much they're not entirely going beat for beat of the game, I think that could lead to promise for The Last of Us 2. For those of us that didn't like The Last of Us 2, I think this could be season 2 could be. If it's still more of an homage to everything that happened in the game, because there are some good stuff in that game, certain evolutions of these creatures of these infected is handled incredibly well and could be done. it could be terrifying. Basically, like there is a
Oh, yeah.
particular creature
Very
with
terrifying.
how it goes like 20 years, it like 20 years of the infection. So it's one of those things. Like, okay, that makes sense, and I'm super pumped to see where we go with this for sure. If they handle if they handle the first season incredibly well, and it's like one of the best well-rounded seasons of a video game adaptation, then I think I trust these people enough, because like you also got to remember the creator of the game also co-created and is show running this, so I think he
Neil
took a lot of the
Druckmann. criticism.
Yes, Neil Druckmann is the creative mind
Is a
behind
part of
this.
it, so
Yeah, him and the writer for Chernobyl are a part of this. So it's one of those things. It's like I feel like he has heard the criticism of Last of Us 2, and I think he's willing to change certain elements of it to where he can make it done. He can basically make it better. And I think that this is his
I
opportunity.
think we're all
for him.
thinking of the part we were thinking about, like
Exactly, and I think that you could do that incredibly well in the show if you explain it better. And I think the biggest thing, honestly,
I think okay, so if they do make a season 2 and it's going to be vaguely based off of the second game, I'm thinking the part I'm thinking of should be the season finale episode. That's how they should end it, I think.
I don't think it should be the season finale. I think it should be the end of the episode 1, or do what they did with a particular character in episode 2. They should at least let this character live for 2 episodes. And then therefore you can kind of explain that. You can explain that relatively well. And I still think you could still gut punch the audience into how they're going to take off with this character. And I still feel you can still take elements from The Last of Us 2 and tweak those enough to where you change the majority of the story. Like, you can still keep the vague idea of like revenge is going to lead you to nothing but pain. You can still keep that. That was one of the most interesting things about The Last of Us 2. However, it's also one of those things that's like, I think you could do it better. And I think that I believe Neil has taken the criticism to heart, and he's like, okay, if we're going to do season 2, we're going to do The Last of Us 2 better. Or he has his head so far up his own ass and he fucks it. Don't know. I know that Last of Us 3 has been announced. So
so that one's going to be interesting too.
I'm curious where they're going to go with that. And I hope what they could do is, I want to say follow Tommy. I think Tommy would be an interesting enough character to follow for The Last of Us 3. Because if I remember correctly, Joel's brother, I believe he survives both Last of Us 1 and 2. So I believe he would be a good character. I don't think you see much of season in Last of Us 2. He would be an interesting character to kind of wrap up the whole story. I feel like him following, like, he finds out his brother's dead. I think that would be an interesting storyline to be like, oh shit, that kind of thing. I think that would be handled incredibly well, and that would be a good way to wrap up the whole trilogy. That's just my personal opinion.
That does give me one thing. Good effects, like, about the dude's teeth being split. I was like,
that's just good makeup. That's all it was.
Now, if only we could find somebody that can either make a proper show or movie of Doom.
I agree. I feel like Doom needs to be a good mix of CGI and makeup. I feel like you could do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
make it where Doom guy just says almost absolutely fuck nothing.
Or
he has only ever spoken one word,
and that was no. He is a toddler
Ancient Gods
with a gun. He is a toddler with a gun and severe rage issues. I'm not discrediting Doom, by the way. One of my favorite fucking video games. Before you fucking come at me, bitches.
Anyways, fucking tear.
Exactly. So, anyways, back onto The Last of Us. Final thoughts. I think this episode is done incredibly well, and I cannot wait for tomorrow night, whenever that next episode comes out.
Same.
Somebody said that episode 2 was a bit divisive. I'm like, I don't know.
It's divisive because of how they write off a particular character, and what they do with certain elements of the game. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that this is not a direct adaptation of the game.
Oh no.
No, it's
if
not.
It was a direct adaptation, like
we would have already been to the point where we got to Nick Offerman's character. So
does he do his role very well?
We don't know yet. He's showing up. He's showing up in the next episode.
I've seen him
We
in
shall
Parks and Rec
see.
in a
We shall
comedic role,
see.
and he's pretty good at that.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what he does with this. Anyways, we shall see next or in the next 24 hours. Well, 24 hours and change. Anyways, on to our next topic because Joel and Ellie are dealing with some clickers at the moment. So we're gonna go ahead and go into another magical world. We're gonna go ahead and go into another magical world full of controversy. Hogwarts Legacy is almost on its way. We are getting it coming out next week. And I believe that a lot of people are. No, I don't believe. I know that a lot of people are asking for a boycott because a lot of the money will go directly towards J.K. Rowling, which a lot of people don't like because of certain political views that she has that we will not get into. But whether you like that or not, it is her child. You can separate the property from the person.
And that's what they need to do.
Based on, exactly. Now, granted, there is one example that I'm sure enough people, if they know what I like, which is horror, enough horror fans will probably tell you, well, what about Jeepers Creepers and his creator? No. Jeepers Creepers creator was a pedophile. I'm not afraid to say that shit. He was a convicted pedophile.
Keep in mind, by the way, real quick, using that particular word and all that other stuff, using phrases like that will get you a notice from Twitch, and I know that because I got one recently because I was making a joke about I was making a joke about hunting down pedophiles with a shotgun, and they decided that apparently that's too political for Twitch. So just keep that in mind.
The creator of Jeepers Creepers was a obsessive child fondler. Let me put it that way.
That's better.
Yeah. So I'm not afraid to say that, even though I've already said what he actually is. So that's one of those situations where it's like, because he was so involved with it, it's not a political view. That's just a particular thing that, that's a thing that he did, and it's a heinous act. So it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I can't really separate that from the artist. However, I guarantee you I can separate J.K. Rowling from Harry Potter. I grew up with Harry Potter. Yeah, I can separate Harry Potter from J.K. Rowling.
A lot of people are, and even
despite the fact that she just. Sorry, go ahead.
Even a lot of people from the LGBTQ plus community are saying we can separate the game and Harry Potter in general from the creator. We don't care. Yeah, she does what she does, whatever. But I'm not gonna fucking stop liking what I like because of her stupidness.
Exactly.
And
whether you agree with what she said, here's the thing: whether you agree with what she says or not, that shouldn't affect how you like her property. I hate the fact that that's where Hollywood leans towards. Is if you don't believe in this one particular political view, you are ostracized and kicked out. Not to say that I agree with half the shit that she said. I don't. But
I don't agree with it either. But I'm still gonna fucking buy the game and play it.
Exactly.
If I get a chance to, I want to play it. I've been waiting for an open world Harry Potter type game for a long ass time.
Also, she's too rich to even give a shit.
Exactly. So it's just one of those things. She's going to continue to make her own topics. She's going to continue to make her own thought processes and everything else like that.
She doesn't give a fuck.
She doesn't give a fuck. Exactly. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, cool. She doesn't give a fuck. So why the fuck should we?
Supporting her. I'm supporting the fucking developers and the fucking
exactly. I'm supporting developers.
Their asses to make this damn game.
Just because
isn't it like Hogwarts free roam MMO whatever?
Yeah, it's essentially an MMO free roam game. And in Hogwarts that takes place like what 200 or 300 years before Harry Potter?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like what House of the Dragon did, where it takes place like hundreds of years before Harry Potter, before the main story that we all know and love. So it's just one of those things where it's like, okay, cool. So why the fuck is this an issue? It feels like people are just looking for something to attack because she's attached to it, and it's just one of those things where it's like, I don't like that. I don't want to. I don't like people that are like that. Like, oh well, I don't agree with this particular person's views, so therefore anything that they have that is an intellectual property, I'm not going to support. Even though it's something I've been asking for a long ass fucking time before I found out what their political views were.
Yeah,
that's stupid. If it's just political views, fuck off.
One thing that really pissed me off is that I saw is like people are gonna go out of their fucking way to attack Twitch streamers, YouTube streamers, who play the fucking game.
Oh, don't be surprised if Twitch says, "Hey, if you play this game, you're gonna get kicked off." Do not be surprised if they do that. Twitch will do that. I know for a fact they will.
We're supposed to care about Twitch.
Well, we do
I meant
because
that
we stream on their
sarcastically.
bitch. But anyways, it's just one of those things where
Which
it's
is
like,
just
okay,
fucking it's bullshit.
absolutely, it is. It is bullshit. That should not be the case.
Like
it's
you're
a
messing
game.
with someone's fucking livelihood.
Exactly. And it's just one of those things where it's like, it's a game. If they don't know anything, if they don't follow that stuff, why the fuck should they be punished just for playing a game that they're like, oh, I know that. I grew up with Harry Potter. I want to play that game and I
Right.
want to share it with my audience. And then you're going to tell me that they're going to actively go after you just because you shared it with your audience?
Yeah.
That's
it's
literally
ridiculous.
self-sabotaging.
Yep.
And speaking of which, going from one self-sabotaging fan base to another, so we have some D&D news. Even though the vast majority of D&D players have won, and by which case they are not going forward with their basically monetizing D&D, now there are a lot of people saying, which granted, we fucking won. Let's congratulate that. Hell fucking yeah. But, it's just one of those
First
things now they're
round
saying,
at
well,
Quincy's on me, man.
exactly. First round of wherever on me, as long as you're paying. But anyways, but that being said,
yawning portal.
yeah. Anyways, so that being said, it's just one of those things that's like, okay, cool, we won. They stopped doing that. You don't have to boycott shit. They realized they made a mistake and they backpedaled the fuck out of it. Why the fuck are people now saying we're not gonna support the D&D movie? Why the fuck are you doing that? You know how many fucking years I've had to live with that god-awful piece of shit that is entertaining, but god-awful piece of shit that has Marlon Wayans and Jeremy Irons and fucking wastes them? Are you kidding me? Fuck you. Fuck you. You're telling me that I had to live with that bullshit as a D&D movie for that long because this shit is, because they're like, oh, they just decided to do this shit at the same time this movie's coming out? Fuck you. I'm supporting this goddamn movie, and you can call me a simp for fucking Wizards of the West Coast or not. I don't care. Fuck you. I'm supporting this damn thing because I want another one like this. I want a show. I want a movie. Please.
Right? I agree. I full-heartedly agree. And one of the TikTokers I follow who plays the D&D, Pathfinder, and all that stuff,
Right.
made a very good, valid point. Like, okay, look, he's basically saying it's to raise a shit ton of money for the movie because look what they did with Sonic. They released a trailer where Sonic looked fucking terrible. Then they released. Then 2 weeks later, like two and a half weeks later, they came out with what Sonic looks like, and people lost their fucking shit. And Sonic was a very popular and made pretty good fucking money.
I will say this: the first Sonic movie is kind of mid. The second Sonic movie is damn near perfect.
I agree. But he's thinking.
Seth, I'm surprised you're not hopping on this.
Quite a few people thinking.
I would say that
it's the same track.
Right.
They're trying
I would say that the Sonic movie was the first one was pretty damn good. I watched the first.
I'm not discrediting it. I'm saying it's good, but it's.
I know, but compared to what they added into the second one, they didn't need the
wedding subplot,
babushka fucking Russian dance off. They didn't need
that. No. That's because it's a kids movie. Yeah,
that
they
was
did
so
that for
funny.
kids and let them laugh. Whatever.
They also did not need the wedding because we did not need the chick flick fans to be appeased for the sake of.
I will say this: that
whatever.
is entertaining because it does kind of grind the movie to a halt, and in that own situation, it's kind of funny. They just could have put it in a better place. And it would have probably been handled better.
I agree.
Just saying. That's just me.
I'm mostly simping for this movie because Chris Pine's in there, and I love the Star Trek movies he's in. Yes, you could fight me over those movies.
Oh no, those Star Trek movies were great. The third one wasn't. I mean, it wasn't.
Honestly,
my
I would
favorite.
say the third one is not. I will say this: the third one is better and feels more like Star Trek than compared to Into Darkness. I enjoy Into Darkness. Into Darkness is fine, but it's a step down in my opinion.
I don't know. Into Darkness was pretty fucking good.
The whole like, oh, it's not Khan. I swear to you, it's not Khan. And then, oh my god, it's fucking Khan. Like, of course it fucking is. Who the fuck didn't know it was gonna be? You get this great actor, and you're telling me, oh yeah, it's not fucking Khan. Fuck you, Joe. What do you want?
I'm saying live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper, my ass, bitch. What do you want? No, I'm kidding. Anyways.
God damn.
In other
I just
good
wanted to
D&D
say,
news,
I love
so
you.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still on the whole thing. Like people are fucking boycotting this movie, and I'm like, God damn it, no! For the love of
So-
God, no!
All right,
So,
let's roll for
let's
recommendation
add
here.
some positive D&D news. So,
Hmm.
I actually found out this news on my birthday, which was amazing.
Mhm.
Critical Role has announced season 3 of Vox Machina,
Let's fucking go.
Wait, there's a
And-
season 2?
and
Season
Yeah.
2 came out. Yeah, they already had
Yeah.
the
I
next
need
few
to
like-
episodes.
watch it.
they have 7 episodes.
I still
out
need to
right
watch
now.
it too. Yeah, they have 7 episodes,
And
I need to
there's
watch it.
more. There's more, man. There's more.
They announced a TikTok.
The Mighty Nine are getting a TV series and possible movie adaptations.
Yes. Fuck yes. That is
So-
awesome.
That was really exciting. I love what they're doing with Vox Machina. I was
Right.
also watching the restreams on YouTube, and I've been watching the restreams of the Mighty Nine campaign,
Mhm.
and both of them are phenomenal.
Right.
So to hear that they're gonna adapt the Mighty Nine into a TV series plus
That's awesome.
possible movies,
Yeah.
ooh,
That is pretty dope.
that is gonna
nuts.
be crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah. Well, any more thoughts, comments, concerns on these D&D news? I know I've shared mine aplenty, and I kind of got a little too excited. Well, not excited. I kind of got a little too pissed off, but I apologize, Joe. It's my bad. Usually this is all in good fun, but that was kind of
That's okay.
that was
Fuck
kind
you
of
too,
twisted
anyway.
towards you. Yeah, you know what? Fuck you. Anyways, I'm
As
apologizing,
D&D
and you're gonna say fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, bitch.
As fans of
Oh,
Dungeons
fuck.
and Dragons,
Yes.
Um,
Hold on.
I'm happy that the OGL they're not fucking touching. That's a great thing.
Correct.
Should it be a reason to boycott the movie? Absolutely not. The
No.
movie looks fucking badass.
The movie looks like a hell of a lot of fun. I and we will talk about this here in a bit, but yeah, I mean, like we also got a new trailer.
Yeah.
I saw an article and it made me laugh because I was like, that's how I found out the new trailer. I knew it was coming out, but I didn't know it was that at that point. And what was funny about it was there was an article that said Paramount cast a spell of illusion with a new trailer for Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. I'm like, okay, that's clever. I'll give you that.
That is clever.
That is
That is
pretty
clever.
clever. That is clever. I'll give you that. You know, but yeah, you know. So we're gonna go ahead and roll for initiative to go into our next topic, and I believe we got a 20. So our next topic is GoldenEye 64 is going to be coming to Xbox Game Pass as well as Nintendo Switch Online.
It's already on Game
So-
Pass.
Yeah, well, it's already on Game Pass. Oh
Yep.
shit. Okay,
I'm gonna
my
play
bad then.
it later.
Well, there you go. So if you already have Xbox Game Pass, then you already have access to this damn game. If you didn't already, because I know a lot of people that really love this game still kept their Nintendo 64 for it. But that's just me.
Yeah.
That and a few other games for the 64 because the 64 is a classic.
64 is a classic. If I can get my hands on a 64 that isn't $500,000, I would get one. You know?
I almost bought one like 4 or 5 years ago. It was the Pokemon Snap for the 64 version. It was
That would've been nice.
$120, and I should have fucking picked it up.
You should have. You should have.
I should have.
Yeah.
I regret it, but
But
I
yeah,
guess
Seth, you were
it
saying
wasn't
that's
that
a
my
oh,
time.
sorry. No, I got you. So Seth, you were saying that this is a fantastic fucking game, and you're excited that it's coming on the Game Pass and stuff, right? Yeah.
I played it on the 64 growing up.
Hell yeah. You know. Yeah.
if you
All right.
if you play as Oddjob in multiplayer, go fuck yourself.
Fair.
That was the old thing.
Yeah. I believe he was a little OP in that game. But anyways, that being said, so I know this game is a classic. I played a little bit of it here and there because one of my cousins had a 64 and they had
I
that
never
game and they're
did.
like, no, you gotta play this game. And I said, okay. And I enjoyed what little I played of it. It's not that long of a game either. It really just goes
no,
with the movie.
it's very short.
And as much as I say I love Bond, I have not seen all the Bond films. I have not gotten to the Pierce Brosnan era. All I have seen is the Daniel Craig era and a little bit of here and there of the Sean Connery. I never really fully watched Pierce Brosnan's era. So I do plan on fixing that. I know that I can get the whole set for like $70 every now and then if I turn around for on Blu-ray. So I plan on getting that at some point.
Something
It's
like
just
that, yeah.
I've
played it a few times too.
Yeah, I just need to play my cards right on whenever I have money for that. So we'll see. But I think that this game is a classic for a reason. Even though I do know I've seen people play it recently, and it does show its age. But I mean, what can you expect? 64 games were kind of buggy, especially because that was I believe one of the the pioneers of the 3D era for the 64. The first person shooter 3D era. So I
Same
think
thing with Perfect Dark. Oh,
yeah,
such a good game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I still believe that this is a classic, and I'm glad that they're bringing it to not one but two different platforms that you can get it on, and I think that's a smart move wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that. I honestly wasn't too big of a fan of the 007 video games, but I watched a little bit of that one. I didn't have a 64 growing up, sadly. I just had the Super Nintendo, but
I played the Pokemon game in one.
Yeah. I remember there was a game where you played toy soldiers having a war with each other, and my brother and I played the shit out of that game on the 64.
It was
oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was fun as hell. We always played that. I think it was green and red soldiers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
it was so much fun. I loved it.
So dry.
Yeah, it's called Drink Water, bitch. Anyways,
welcome
to Snodacast, where we're constantly going to be poking Joe with a hot poking iron. So, anyways, hot iron.
I got dibs.
All right, no poking him in the ass or the dick.
Yes.
Only if he gives permission.
All right, so let me go ahead and go to the pause menu real quick. All right, and I believe it says we need to go on to our next objective, which is, unfortunately, Panic at the Disco is no more. They have officially broken. Well, I guess you can't say broken up with only one member, but Brendan Urie has officially ended Brendan Urie has officially ended Panic at the Disco as a band. And I mean, I can't necessarily say I blame him. You went from 4 members to 1 in the span of 10, 15 years.
Wasn't that because he was a bit of a dick or something?
A lot of them left because they wanted to go into their own music careers. And I have heard some things that he was a bit of a dick, but I mean, can you blame him? They started off as a Vegas stage group, and they blew up into superstardom. I mean,
yeah,
I wouldn't blame anybody for getting to be a little bit of a dick. I know Mick Jagger is a huge dick, but that's because this man has spent 30 fucking years plus having millions of people adore him like he's a god. Of course you're going to be a little bit of a dick. And Brendan Urie's not that big, but
he's basically, from what I heard and read, he's basically retiring from music. He wants to spend more time with his family. Apparently he has a kid on the way, so he wants to focus more on family.
And that's perfectly understandable. I mean, this dude's had, like I said, I believe 15 years worth of music. And I mean, honestly, the last album that he had, whichever one had the what was it? I forget what the last album was, but the last 2 albums that I listened to religiously were done incredibly well. And I've also been listening to a lot more of it recently, a lot of his older stuff recently. Ballad of Mona Lisa is still a fucking classic. Obviously, This Is Gospel is still a banger. Miss Jackson hits a little harder than it used to, and I love it.
Right?
Yeah, and of course you have Saturday. I know that Hey Look Ma, I Made It, and High Hopes have been overplayed to God knows fucking what degree. But those songs they're just overplayed. I still think they're fine, but I still think that. Yeah. But anyways, I think Saturday Night is great. I believe Emperor's New Clothes is one of my favorites, I would have to say. Though I don't know, Miss Jackson might be taking that over. That's a really good song. I love that.
That is a really good song.
Hey Look Ma, I Made It. And High Hopes and LA Devotee and Death of a Bachelor were my favorites.
I still like LA Devotee. I think that's one of my favorites from that album.
I like that the kid that played Will from Stranger Things was in that music video too.
That was a nice music video. I like that. Have you guys heard of
I will say, what is it with the kid that plays Will? I don't remember his name. Noah something.
Noah Schnapp.
Yeah, what is it with Noah Schnapp always playing a character that is like a small kid that gets fucking mentally fucked with either the paranormal or I don't know,
Guessing.
getting tortured with an electric chair like in that music
It's
video? Like,
because
poor Noah, leave the boy alone.
Well, that's
Right.
because he plays to type, and that is what he got known for, which was Stranger Things. Also, apparently, Noah Schnapp has come out as gay. We're going to agree with his decision because it's fine. You know, who are we to fucking judge? But
Yeah,
I also now
as
know
long as he's
exactly.
happy.
Yes,
As
exactly.
long as they're happy.
However, now that he said that, I know exactly where they're going with Will in Stranger Things, and I have a feeling that bitch is dead. I don't know why. I just do. Or his brother. One of the two. If you guys have watched Snodacast for a little while, you should know exactly my theories for who I think is going to bite the fucking dust in the next season.
Oh, I'm
And I have
fairly
one
certain
theory.
that it's either going to be Will dies, Mike
Or Jonathan.
dies, or
I don't think
Hopper
Mike's
like
gonna-
actually dies.
No, I think it's Jonathan. I really do. I think Jonathan's gonna
I kind
die.
of think that.
What's Will's sister's name?
Steve might die.
No, I don't think Steve's gonna die. They're trying to develop him a little bit better. I don't think they're gonna. And you got to remember, Jonathan was severely fucking like pushed to the side. Like Argyle got more screen time than Jonathan did, in my personal opinion.
I think Jonathan might die.
I
maybe
seriously think
Nancy
Jonathan's
could-
gonna die.
Probably.
Nancy. So
Nancy
I don't
might
think
die.
Nancy's gonna die. I don't believe Nancy's gonna die. I think Nancy and Steve are gonna get together because they're kind of hinting towards that, and they're also hinting at Nancy and Jonathan going away. Now, I also believe that Grace might die. I have a feeling that, or what's his name? The reporter.
I hope not. Grace
Maury?
is a Grace. Is
Grace is a
badass.
great character. Yeah.
I like Grace.
What's the reporter guy's name?
Oh, I don't remember
Grace.
his name.
Who's Grace?
Not Grace. Grace is Will's mom.
Joyce.
Winona Ryder. Oh, it's
Joyce.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Got that
Okay.
lady still
Anyways.
around.
But no, the reporter guy, I feel like he's kind of had he's had way too many good moments and kind of way too much good luck. I feel like he's gonna die. I think
Plot
he might be
armor.
the first gut punch. Also, I believe Eddie may come back and then have to be killed by not Lucas,
Dustin.
Dustin. I think he's gonna have to get killed by Dustin. Because a lot of
Why?
people are saying, oh, well, they're saying that he might come back as a vampire because he was bitten by bats, and like you don't really see him like fully, like
Die.
you don't you see him die, but you don't really see his body for much longer after that.
Mhm.
So it's just one of those things. It's like, okay, every other like character death, they have like lingered on the body, like they did with Bob, like they did with they kind of did it with Barb in season 2 because everybody was like, Joseph for Barb. Not really that great of a character in my personal opinion. I like the actress, but I didn't really care about the
She was a
character.
throwaway.
She was a throwaway,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's what the writers said. They're like, we did not expect Barb to fucking be this good, like this well liked of a character. And it's like, well, that's just because you got a really likable actress. That's really all it was. It was still not a well written character. It's just she made it likable. And I think that ultimately kind of dragged down season 2, in my personal opinion, but that's a whole other video. And we may or may not be making that a whole topic on its own little video. That is yet to be seen. I already have an idea of what I would like to talk about next week. So that being said, I think back to Panic at the Disco. Have you guys actually heard about the Devil's Key trilogy? Well, trilogy.
No.
It's like a series of videos. So I've seen one mashup where it's Miss Jackson. Like this is all the music videos tied together. It goes Miss Jackson Saturday Night. This is Gospel, and then it goes to Emperor's New Clothes, and then I think in that group it ends with LA Devotee, or no, it ends with Ballad of Mona Lisa, which makes no sense.
Voice
It
play?
should end with LA
Like
Devotee.
voice- Is it acapella?
No. It's like the music videos all together.
Oh,
So
okay.
the real trilogy is you go Saturday Night, then you go to This is Gospel, which is him apparently dying, which it is. And then if you look at Emperor's New Clothes, it's clearly meant to be tied together with This is Gospel. But the way, if you really pay attention to the way where it ends in Saturday Night in the music video, you will see it kind of link up almost immediately with This is Gospel. So it's done incredibly well. I think Miss Jackson is a good like topper for it because like that's a very weird video. You don't really understand the whole point of it. And I think that kind of helps like explain how he got the Devil's Key in some ways, even though there is an opening narration in Saturday Night. It's a whole thing. it was not intentionally planned that way, but then they just decided, well, it'd be kind of cool to tie this back to This Is Gospel because that's one of our most popular music videos of all time. So it's just one of those things. It's like, I think that's a very interesting idea, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And they all kind of flow together really well too. Like you go from Miss Jackson to Saturday Night to This Is Gospel to Emperor's New Clothes, which is great.
They did Panic at the Disco did 2 covers that I really loved. They did a cover of This Is Halloween from
They did a really good This Is
I
Halloween.
fucking love it. That is one of my favorites. And they also did The Greatest Showman.
They did The Greatest Showman. They also did another cover for the lesser Suicide Squad movie, Suicide Squad.
The one we will not talk about.
The one with anal beads that were sent to the cast members. But that's a different story. Anyways,
Never heard of that story.
Jared Leto apparently sent
Bohemian
anal
Rhapsody.
beads, used
Yes,
condoms,
I love that one
and
too.
yeah. So behind the scenes,
Remember-
Jared Leto, quote unquote, stayed in character and sent anal beads, used condoms, and dead rats to his co-stars.
I thought Margot Robbie got a live one.
Oh, did Margot Robbie get a live one? I don't know.
Oh, I must have heard differently.
I don't think it fucking matters. That's fucking disturbing.
Yeah, exactly. Also,
Of
for
course.
those of you that don't know, Jared Leto is actually a cult leader.
Oof.
Most people
Hold on.
forget about that fucking shit.
Hang on, I
Yes.
just gotta.
He is a cult.
That reminds me, how was Morbius? Because I never watched it.
I haven't finished it because I haven't gotten drunk yet. So
I haven't
Uh,
watched it.
I had to
tried
watch
to-
it. I had to watch it inebriated twice, and I fell asleep both
That's
times.
bad.
Oof.
No, I just didn't want to fucking sit through a mid movie.
You should get drunk and high.
I just get drunk and then I'm like, oh yeah, let me watch Morbius, and it's like, okay, this is entertaining. I'm having a good time. You know, it's funny. It's funny
Okay.
to laugh at.
Do that, but also with Alvin the Chipmunks movies.
Fuck you. I'm not gonna throw up. Anyways,
No, those movies. Those movies. You don't get drunk. You get
no.
stoned off your fucking ass.
No, you don't even get stoned off your ass. You take PCP and LSD. That's what you do.
Correct.
Then you're like, oh wow, I can see colors in the background that don't exist. Fun.
We are
Anyways.
professionals. Do not do drugs. Stay in school.
Exactly. We are professionals. Do not do drugs. But if
Bro,
you're
I
over
can
the age
see
of
your
21
mitochondria. What the fuck is this?
Anyways, so we as over 21 age consenting adults have happy fun times with special pills and special drinks.
Campaign.
But that's a
No.
story for another time.
Not for Joe. Joe can't
Not
have
for
it.
Joe. No, Joe can't have any, but that's for different reasons.
Okay,
Joe's
okay.
a different type of
Fuck
special
off.
adult.
I could take a can of White Claw any day.
Bitch, that's nothing. That's basic bitch
That
shit.
is
You
not-
are basically
that's
you are on the
not-
same level of a sorority girl, so shut the fuck up.
Mm.
Anyways,
That ain't real alcohol.
Don't hate me because I am beautiful. My good
bitch,
sir.
I will come over there, shove my foot up your
You
ass
need
so
to get rid
far.
of that yee ass haircut.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll give you that.
That's actually. Well,
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and unfortunately have to listen to one of the worst songs from Panic at the Disco, which I do not know. Anybody have the worst song from Panic at the Disco?
Emperor's New Clothes.
Oh, fuck you, bitch.
I don't
That's
know.
a good ass
Wonder-
song.
No, it's
Any
It
not.
was just
Wonder
overplayed.
Direction.
It was overplayed. The music video is what makes it perfect, in my opinion.
The music
Music
video
video
was
is
great, but the song itself just isn't that good, in my opinion.
I like the melody for it. That's really all it is.
I mean, that's
like
fair.
the not the chorus, but the verses are really done well, in my opinion. Also, sorry, my eye decided to randomly get irritated, and I don't know why. It's always my left eye for some reason.
It happens.
Yeah, it's always my left eye for some reason. I don't know.
I don't know. I can't think of any that I've listened to that I didn't really care for.
I mean, I would
Other ones
say,
I really liked.
what's the one where it's it was one of their like long title songs. There was a whole album with like titles that take up like 3 sentences, basically.
I don't.
know. There was. Anyways, there's a couple songs that I'm not the biggest fans of. I'm not the biggest fan of. That I wouldn't say it's their worst, but. Anyways, that being said, we're gonna go ahead and not Panic at the Disco. That's a better transition, and we're gonna go ahead and
Right.
instead roll for happiness. And we're gonna go ahead and talk about after I kill Seth. We're gonna go ahead and talk about the new trailer for Dungeons and
Fucking
Dragons honor among thieves, and I think this is a far better trailer in my opinion. Not to say that the
Oh
the
yeah,
last
yeah.
one was
I
bad.
literally just finished.
I get more of a
watched it before
story
it
out of
started.
this.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I
I
definitely
love
get
the
more
end of the trailer. The end of the
Oh,
trailer.
the end of the trailers. Yeah, the end of the trailer is hilarious. I love that. That was great. It's like I think there's sharper stairs over there. Just I love that. That was.
I felt like the very end of that trailer was like classic D&D shenanigans.
Yeah.
It's like there may be traps around here. Don't activate them.
And he steps on the fucking and it's just
Click.
like, oh, the whole bridge went away.
Everyone's
It's
just
like
like
I may or may
staring
not
at
have
each
activated
other.
it. Yeah,
Like, that classic like
barbarians exist.
what the fuck
that
just
is
happened?
D&D. That is very D&D. I will agree.
Very
I think this
D&D.
movie looks like a ton of fun. I have said that with the entirety of the first trailer. I think that this is. I think they finally got people that actually give a shit about D&D and not just studio mandated. Like, oh hey, you want to make a movie? Sure, it's D&D. I have no idea what D&D is. It's like, well, it's called Dungeons and Dragons. Can you come up with something like that? It's medieval fantasy. Sure, I can pull something out of my ass. You also have Jeremy Irons and Marlon Wayans in your cast. Okay. What do you want me to do with Marlon Wayans? Okay.
Funny.
What do you want me to do with the
Figure it out.
Wayans? Yeah, what do you want me to do with Marlon? It's like, oh, well, we couldn't get Chris Tucker because we were going to try to make him one of the most annoying characters of all time. So
God.
do that. And it's like, okay. Just thank you for millions of dollars to make this movie. Unspecified studio. I appreciate it. Just
I'll figure it the fuck out.
yeah.
No,
Also,
I
there's
feel like
also really big studio note. We really want this guy that's one of the secondary villains to have some weird blue shit on his lips, and nobody says anything.
yeah, I remember that now. It's like
Mhm.
he ate like a ton
He
of
got a
little
little-
popsicles and
Yeah, and it just got dyed on his
it's not
lips, or he had
going
like
away.
he had the
The man
blueberry
went to
chapstick.
town on Smurfette and ate her.
Oh,
She's dead.
YouTube's gonna be like,
Oh my god.
is this technically legal?
But
say in a
no.
video?
No. But no, what's crazy is it's like the entire time you watch it, you just want one character to finally just snap and say, hey, you got something a little. You know what? Never mind. Just and then go back to fighting him. That would have been hilarious. That would have been perfect. And I actually would have said that's the one good moment in the entire fucking movie, aside from Jeremy Irons overacting. But that's a different story. Anyways, for all my fellow D&D nerds that know the tragedy that is this movie, you can at least agree Jeremy Irons was having a fucking blast high off his ass. Just
Small movies.
they're watchable for like stupid entertainment.
Oh yeah, no, like I will say this: there is a movie that I have on Blu-ray, and there's a reason why I fought tooth and nail to get this damn movie.
Where are they?
This is one of the most gorgeously refined pieces of garbage I have ever seen, because it is so batshit insane that you can't help but laugh and enjoy the fuck out of it. And it is called Stephen King's Sleepwalkers, which is not based off of any fucking book. It is entirely a screenplay, and it was made in the 80s. For those of you that don't know Stephen King stuff about the 80s, in the 80s, Stephen King has actually said in the 80s he was so high off his ass on cocaine, or happy snow as we call it. He was so high off his ass off a happy snow that he didn't know half of the shit that he was doing. He also directed Maximum Overdrive in the 80s and got AC/DC to do the music for it. So
That wasn't really a bad movie. It was
No, it's
corny,
not.
but it wasn't bad.
that's the whole point. Like in Stephen King's, like if they're, it's like, well, I figured if nobody else can do it, might as well do it yourself. And it's like, okay, it's kind of, I think it was Stephen King's point to say, like, you don't have to take me that seriously. You can have fun with my movies. And I think Sleepwalkers is a good companion piece to Maximum Overdrive. One's corny as hell, but actually halfway decent. The other one is corny as hell and so batshit insane you can't help but enjoy it. Like I said, the most gorgeous, refined piece of garbage I have ever seen.
That for me.
I wouldn't call you gorgeous, refined garbage. I would just call you refined garbage, but that's a different story.
That's another story for another day, Joe.
Exactly. So, I believe we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. We actually talked quite a bit. Well, at least Leon and I talked quite a bit. Let me put it that way.
Fuck you, I'm doing cool space shit.
You know what? Fuck you. You could not do that shit on my goddamn podcast.
Lick my dick.
I'd rather not. I'll send Joe to do it though.
Okay.
Whoa. You know, involve me with this. I'd rather.
This has been the Snodacast. Thank you for joining this 18+ X-rated stream. Join us back next time where we bully Audible.com into canceling their subscription services.
You send me to Seth. I will become an injured serpent, Seth.
What?
Send him to me and he dies.
Okay. You just kind of enticed me to send it to him. You know that, right?
First class shipping.
Okay,
Yes.
I was-
Expedited shipping. He will be there in 1 to 2 business days.
I will come in crying and everything.
Because
You're
you'll
still
know
gonna die.
exactly what's about to happen and just be like, I accept this.
All right. So before we decide to actually actively do this, we're going to go ahead and I'm not going to make the same joke. I'm not going to say roll initiative. We're going to go ahead and roll a 4-sided die, which doesn't exist. But that being
D4.
said, okay, we're going to roll a d4. And
Dumbass.
what's that? We got fucking 1. Well, I think that ends the
I got
podcast.
2.
This has been
It's
the
a critical
Snodacast episode
failure.
4.
End the stream.
It is a critical failure. It is a critical failure of this stream. We have been the Snodacast. I've been your host, Chef56, and
Professionals,
I've been joined
everybody.
by-
Professional.
professionals. Yes, and of course I've been joined by It's Primbridge, aka Seth.
Yes.
Got the pork.
Yeah, we're gonna start calling him It's Soundboard Bridge, but that's a different story. And of course we're also joined by DJ Lionheart, aka Leon.
Stay nerdy.
And of course,
Otherwise, we will have a report.
exactly, yes, absolutely. And of course we were also joined by, wait, what's a Joe?
Stay
Anyway.
thirsty, my friends.
Don't you dare steal Dos Equis shit. I will fucking kill you. But that being
No
said,
way,
I've
this
been
is
your host, Black
great, isn't it?
56, and once again, we are professionals. And this has been the Snodacast, episode 4 of year 4. We will see you all